addiction is so prevalent in our society nowadays, and I know that we all probably think, well, that can't happen to me, but it absolutely can, and it touches us all in so many different ways. There is a group in Alabaster called For Tomorrow that is doing amazing things to help prevent and educate us on what is facing our children and making a difference today for tomorrow. So let's talk to Brandon Matthews, and he's going to tell us all about it. So Brandon, can you give us a little information on what For Tomorrow is and how it got started?
Yeah, so For Tomorrow is the prevention effort for the city of Alabaster. And so our citizens are really, passionate about what we do today is for tomorrow. So our goal is to educate and empower our families and our community in order to eradicate substance use in our city. So we're made up of moms and dads, grandparents, business leaders, part of our law enforcement, our city officials, our education, different sectors of our community all come together just to volunteer to make our city the place that we want our kids to grow up in.
I love that. Addiction can affect us all in so many different
Sure.
ways, and probably does touch all of us in
Absolutely.
some way. It's so prevalent right now.
Sure.
What are some of the things that you guys do
Sure.
practically in our city?
Sure. So many people seem to think that lots of times the stigma is it happens to that family or it's connected to this group. But the reality is, across all socioeconomic boundaries, no matter what facet of life you find yourself, we are all impacted by substance use and abuse. And so what we do is we try to find ways to bring prevention before we get there, or we try to bring correction when there is an issue. So for example, we're very proactive in educating our community about what substance use is happening in our schools, with our young people, dealing with it in our families. We provide different activities like we have parent universities, which brings in parents from all over the community. We host them at Thompson High School, and it's usually someone coming in talking about parenting tips. It's talking about substance prevention and use that our teenagers are using. We're active in our schools, speaking to young people, giving them prevention options and kind of answering questions. Maybe they're curious about it. They just hear what they hear on the internet or what their friends tell them, but we tell them the real truths of those things. We also launched a family-friendly vendor program here in the city, which we recognized that a lot of our convenience stores maybe had some items that weren't quite good for the family or for the kids right at the checkout counter. And so we just approached those stores, brought them all together, we had a conversation, and just requested that maybe they would either remove or relocate those items in the stores. And in return, they would be included in our family-friendly vendor program. So in the community, when you shop at a convenience store, when you see that decal on the window, you know that they've gone to great lengths in order to make it a safe environment for your family to shop, so that those items are not right in line with your children as they check out.
Wow. So there's some really big things going on that you guys are doing to help. I've been in one of these meetings before, and I feel like we all think it's not going to happen to
Sure.
us. It's not us, right?
Sure.
It's other people. But it was so eye-opening to see the things that our kids are faced with today.
Sure.
It's terrifying, but we
Sure.
need to be aware. So I think
Right.
these meetings are crucial. And
Absolutely.
just getting that information and awareness out so that we know
Yeah.
to always be on guard.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we meet every other month right here at City Hall at 11 a.m. Typically it's on a Tuesday morning at 11 o'clock. Our next meeting is scheduled for June, as long as the pandemic doesn't take that out. But it's a great opportunity to come in and just to be educated in ourselves, as well as we all have something to contribute. We're a part of this community. Alabaster is not a few, it's all of us. And what we do today really does affect our tomorrow. And so we're hearing from school officials, from teachers who are working with your students each and every day, and we hear moms and dads say that would never be my son or my daughter. And then you have the conversation on the other side of the table that they go, wow, I never would have guessed that it would have been my son or my daughter. I wish I had have known this now before we crossed this bridge and it affected my family. So we encourage everybody to be involved, to be educated, and find out what you can do today that will impact your family for tomorrow.
So tell us how we can get involved?
Absolutely. The greatest way, I would say, is to visit alabasterfortomorrow.com. You can find out about our mission, our vision, ways that you can plug in. There's even a volunteer assessment that just talks about things that you're passionate about, where you're gifted, and so we can take your passions and your giftings and we can find places for you to add value to this community through this organization to make a difference.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, because you are making a difference in our community and we are appreciative.
Thank you.